She's giving you every single sign right now, but if you've been reading her innerest as rejection, sign number 4 is the one that's gonna prove you completely wrong. Sign number 1 is simple but powerful. She remembers things you didn't think mattered at all, not the big stuff. Anyone can remember your birthday or your job title. I'm talking about the offhand comment you made 3 weeks ago about your anyone coworker, or the fact that you don't like cilantro on your food. When she brings that up later, completely unprompted, that's not just politeness or manners, that's her brain actively tagging you as important enough to store information about later. Women don't waste mental handwrites cataloging details about men they mainly file under not interested anymore. If she is still quietly building a file on you, she is still invested, whether she said it out loud to you or not. Sign 2 reviews around response timing, and this is the one that trips guys up constantly. Every single day, you're staring at a read receipt canvas. The delay means she's losing interest fast, but timing isn't actually the tell here. Tone is the real signal you should track. A woman who's checked out completely replies short, flat, and transactional. Nothing more. A woman who's still interested but simply busy replies late but warm, sometimes even apologizing unprompted for the delay itself. That apology is the real signal worth noticing. She doesn't owe you an explanation for her schedule unless part of her genuinely cares how you're interpreting the silence between texts. Here's the third sign, and it's a big one. Most men overlook completely. She asks questions that don't need to be asked at all. If a woman is truly done with you, she stops being curious about your life entirely. Curiosity is expensive for the brain. It means she's building a mental model of a future together, even subconsciously without realizing it. So when she asks how your meeting went or whether you slept okay after mentioning stress, that's not a smart time filler. That's active tracking behavior. People don't track outcomes of people they've fully written off from their life. Every unnecessary question is a small, quiet vote for continued relevance in her world. If you've ever laid awake or analyzing a text message, hit subscribe right now, because the next sign we cover is the one that's gonna save you from doing that ever again. Number 4 is physical, and it's the one most guys completely miss because they're not trained to look for subtlety in real time. Does she angle her body toward you in group settings without thinking about it? Does she find reasons to be near you even in ways that seem accidental, sitting closer, walking on the side nearest you, mirroring your posture unconsciously? Body language operates below conscious control most of the time in humans. She can say she's not interested with her mouth while her body is doing something entirely different in the room. When words and body language conflict directly trust the body every single time, it's harder to fake. Let's get into sign 5 now. She brings up other people specifically to gauge your reaction to them. This one feels counterintuitive, but stay with me here for a second. When a woman mentions an ex, a coworker, or someone new in her life and then watches your face closely afterwards, she is running a quiet test. She wants to know if you still care about her deep down. Women who are truly indifferent don't bother testing your emotional reaction anymore because your reaction stopped mattering to them completely. The fact that she is checking for jealousy or discomfort in your face means your emotional state still holds a real weight in her mind. Sign 6 is about consistency over convenience, and this separates a real interest from polite behavior. Anyone can be nice to you when it's easy, when you're funny, when you're doing something impressive, and when the night is flowing well. But watch closely what she does when things get inconvenient for her. Does she still text you back when she's exhausted from a long shift at work? Does she still show up when plans get complicated last minute? If the inconvenience is the single strongest signal of genuine interest that exists, because at the moment we're not caring would be the easiest possible choice. If she chooses effort away, that's investment, not obligation. Be honest, are you reading her signals or your own anxiety? Tell us in the comments. Here's a sign 7, and this is the one that changes how you read every future conversation you have. She gives you information that makes her look vulnerable in front of you. Insecurities, fears, family drama, things she's not proud of. These are all things that people hand out casually to strangers. Vulnerability is a currency in human connection, and she's not spending it on someone she's mentally discarded already. When a woman lets her guard down enough to show you an unforgiving or fragile part of herself, she's quietly testing whether you'll handle it with care and respect. That test only matters if your opinion of her still matters deeply. Now here's where this gets interesting, because everything just described gets undermined completely by one thing: your own anxiety running the show. When you're anxious about where you stand with her, you start overanalyzing every text, every pause, every emoji, and you talk yourself into the worst case scenario before she's even given you real data to work with. Anxiety doesn't just distort your perception of events, it changes your actual behavior in ways she can feel instantly. You get needier, more reactive, less fun to be around day to day. Ironically, that shift can create the exact disinterest you were originally experiencing. This is why emotion regulation matters more than any single sign listed here today. You can memorize every behavior cue in the entire world, but if you're checking her Instagram activity every 20 minutes obsessively, none of that knowledge will save you from spiraling out. The goal here isn't to become a detective decoding her every micro move like a case file. The goal is building enough inner security that her mixed signals don't send you into panic mode instantly. Security reads situations accurately and calmly. Anxiety reads neutral situations as threats, even when there are actually positive signs of interest. Which sign hit you the hardest? The one you've been misreading this whole time? Drop the number below. Let's talk about what actually shifts a woman from unsure to genuinely interested long term, because that's the real leverage point in all of this. It's not grand gestures thrown at her randomly. It's not persistence disguised as chasing her down constantly. It's demonstrated emotional stability shown consistently over time and stress. Women are constantly, often unconsciously, evaluating whether a man can handle stress, ambiguity, and setbacks without falling apart or turning cold suddenly. Every time you respond to her mixed signals with calm curiosity instead of anxious irrigation, you're passing a test she never even verbalized out loud to herself. Here's a mistake almost every single guy makes at this exact stage, trying to force clarity far too early in the process. You want to know where you stand, so you push for a label, a definition, a direct answer immediately, and you end up collapsing something that was still developing naturally on its own. Interest isn't a light switch that develops instantly in someone's mind. It's a slow accumulation of trust, chemistry, and safety built brick by brick. When you demand a premature certainty from her, you're asking her nervous system to commit before it's even finished forming its own conclusion. Now let's flip this whole thing around, because half of this equation is about you, not her at all. If you're constantly seeking reassurance, checking for signs, needing validation before you can feel calm inside yourself, that's not attraction building, that's anxiety management. And she can feel that difference immediately in your energy. Confidence isn't the absence of caring about the outcome, it's caring deeply while still being fundamentally okay regardless of what happens next. That specific energy is magnetic precisely because it's rare to find in most men today. If this changed the way you're going to read her next text, show some love and drop a red heart in the comments. It genuinely helps this channel keep making videos like this. One more layer worth understanding fully. Women are constantly picking up on your reaction to ambiguity, not just your reaction to clarity and good news. Anyone can act calm when things are going well and easy. The real signal you're sending her is how you handle genuinely not knowing the outcome. Do you spiral into anxious texts? Do you get distant and cold to protect your own ego from getting hurt? Or do you stay warm, engaged, and grounded even without guarantees from her? The third option separates men who build lasting attraction from men who bear things out fast. So here's the real takeaway. Underneath all these ideas covered today, stop trying to find one single definitive sign that proves interest or disinterest completely, because human behavior simply doesn't work in absolutes like that. What you're actually looking for is a pattern, consistent effort, consistent curiosity, consistent warmth, even under inconvenient circumstances or weeks. One good text from her doesn't mean everything is fine, and one bad day doesn't mean it's completely over between you two. Zoom out and watch the trend line, not the single data point in isolation. That's how you read people accurately, and that's the entire skill was building here. Stop letting one anxious moment convince you of a story that was never even true to begin with. Every single sign we covered, the memory, the tone in her text, the questions, the body language, the reactions to other people, the consistency, the vulnerability. None of these mean anything as isolated moments. They mean everything as a pattern repeated over time. Learn to watch the pattern, manage your own anxiety while you wait for it, and you'll never misread a woman's interest out of fear again. That skill alone will change every relationship you walk into from here forward.